All right. Okay. First of all, you guys are not funny. This is a video about Bryce Young. So everybody already in the chat saying this is going to be a future Broncos headline. Bo Nix is to be benched next. That is not what this emergency breaking stream is about. Okay. Okay. This is about Bryce Young. This is about Bryce Young, guys. Don't turn this around into a Bo Nix thing. Okay. Second thing I want to say right away, Bryce Young, yes, he has been benched. A little bit of a surprise after 2 weeks into this season. It is his second season. Bryce Young has been benched, but also this is a safe place for Panthers fans. I'm not here to shame Panthers fans. I'm not here to shit on Bryce Young either. This is unfortunate. This sucks, but he has not been playing well at all. It's a continued problem for the Carolina Panthers and their quarterback situation, their personnel situation. We'll try and talk through as much of that as we can quickly here today. On GPS this morning, I brought up a tweet I saw about Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield just having, a ton of success since leaving Carolina. And I think that is a big part of the problem, in addition to Bryce Young possibly maybe just not being good and or ready. So I think the positive thing you might want to search for here, Panthers fans, in this benching is you are going to get an upgrade at the quarterback position in Andy Dalton. Not a big one, but Andy has enough experience. And in doing so, you buy Bryce Young some time to just sit back, learn from Dave Canales, learn more of the offense, and ultimately that might help him in Carolina. Sitting for a little bit might actually help Bryce Young there. And we've seen that, right? With Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield leaving situations that weren't good, bouncing around. Some guys just aren't ready to start right away. And when you draft a guy first overall, the thought is this guy's definitely ready to start right away. But those QBs still have to go to the right situation. And David David Tepper's not creating the right situation for any fucking quarterback in Carolina. And I think we all know that. We all know he's the problem. Now, after the game, Dave Canales, Panthers head coach, said Bryce Young is his quarterback. He wasn't planning on making a change. And then he watched the tape, came back to the building today. And at first, I saw a thing saying Tepper and Canales had a conversation, and then it was decided. And then I saw another thing saying Dave Canales made the decision, and he alone decided that Bryce Young was to be benched. I'm not sure. I don't know what to believe. I feel like David Pepper might be tampering with the situation. And I think good NFL owners just don't mess around with that shit. They trust their coaches. They trust their GMs to handle that. So I hope David Tepper, for the sake of Panthers fans, isn't messing with this. Guillermo, well, the Raiders are going to lose now. Can't wait. Yeah. So, you guys play the Panthers next, right, Guillermo? Raiders, Panthers. Thought you had an easy game. Maybe they get a little better with Bryce Young. I don't know. That will fix the problem for the Panthers. Correct, James. It's okay. You can shit on folding chair Bryce. No, I'm not going to shit on Bryce. I don't think that's fair to Bryce. I think unfortunately, he has probably been the worst quarterback in the league both weeks to start this season. And that's saying something because we've seen some bad play from a multitude of quarterbacks. Whether that's the rookies, whether that's been Deshaun Watson week one, a lot of guys have not played well. I'm glad the Raiders are getting better competition, though. I am glad of that. And yes, Bryce's play has justified this benching. There's no getting around that, okay? His play has justified it. But I wanted to go through some of these headlines here and bring up some of the talking points that I've seen, that maybe you've seen, that have, kind of led to this. So first, and Ari posted a bunch of nice things here, so I'm going to go through Ari's Twitter to point these things out. Yes, that is the breaking news. Andy Dalton coming in. But then if we go back here, right? He put out, the most insane thing about what's happening in Carolina is that they traded star players like Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and Brian Burns in the prime of their careers. And in those deals, gave up more first-round picks than they received in return. So when you talk about not helping a young quarterback, when you talk about doing all of the wrong things, that's what we have watched for poor Carolina and the Panthers. These are all good football players. And unless you hit on all of the draft picks you acquire when you're getting rid of these guys, you have to hit on those picks, or you're just going to make your team worse. You're going to make them suck. Like McCaffrey, we're talking about Christian McCaffrey last season as an MVP candidate. Brian Burns, a very good edge rusher. Unfortunately, DJ Moore, I don't know how good he's going to look right now with Caleb Williams. We saw him perform with Justin Fields. DJ Moore might also be, in trouble in terms of career production and the places he's gone following this trade. But yeah, they traded away young, talented players. Don't fucking do that if you're trying to build a good football team. Like, I don't understand the infatuation with just, trying to acquire draft picks, acquire them. Maybe you're in a bad cap situation. Some teams dump players, right, to free up cap space, or some teams do it when they don't have ownership, when they have poor ownership. Kind of like we're seeing with the Bengals right now, not wanting to pay Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. David Tepper is not a poor owner. One of the richest owners in the league. So he's the kind of guy who has the cash where they can pay these guys on their contracts within the salary cap rules, yes, but they don't have to worry about having that, what do they call that shit, that cash and escrow that the poor teams can't afford. Tepper's not one of those guys, which makes all of these moves look even dumber, okay? And then there's another one here. It gets even worse, Panthers fans. I'm sorry. It's been bad. It's been bad. Yep. What they gave away to get Bryce Young. Okay. They've given up a lot. We know that. What was the other one? Oh yeah, 2-16 in his 18 starts. He had 84 passing yards this week, 11 TDs, 13 picks. Gone through 2 head coaches, and that's the other thing. Changing head coaches, that shit takes time. And now Baker Mayfield playing well without Dave Canales. We got to see who Dave is as a coach. Even if Dave's a good coach, I am just fearful that David Tepper is not going to trust him or allow him to be a good coach. There was one more. What was the other tweet I wanted to get to here? Oh, yeah, we got to go to my Twitter. Hold on real quick, because there's one more good point here. I swear to God, I'm going to find it. Nope. It was Steve, though. There we go. So the Panthers, what did they do? They put some money in their offensive line, right? And I don't think their line looked great week 1. But Steve, from Pro Football Focus, take it for what it's worth. After ranking 27th last year, the Panthers have the 5th best pass blocking grade. He says that's been the most concerning part of Bryce Young's regression. So, yeah, you do get concerned about that. If you're seeing protection and you're seeing your quarterback still make mistakes, still not see players like Adam Thielen, who is wide open. He misses that play. He also scrambles on a play, creates time for himself, and somehow still takes a sack. So there's been a lot of bad things. A lot of bad things for poor Bryce Young. And then I saw one more thing from Ben Solak, now with ESPN. Ben, he wrote a week 1 column saying the Dolphins should trade for Bryce Young. He can run that offense. It might be the only offense in the league he can run. For Bryce's sake, maybe do that. I don't know why. I don't know if the Dolphins want to try and replace Tua with Bryce Young. If Tua's going to be out for a little while with his concussion concerns, but that is certainly an interesting idea. And it would help us as fans and as people guessing prove just how bad the Panthers might be, how bad it could be there if Bryce Young were to go to Miami and play well. I don't know if that's realistic, but I thought it was funny. I thought it was quite humorous. But yes, let me get through a couple more of these super chats. Thank you guys for joining me in this breaking emergency press conference. Biggest mistake, not giving Matt Corral a chance. I don't know. I think Matt Corral, he had some chances in the UFL last season. Adrian Martinez took his job there, and I forget what team he was on in the preseason, but he was also, released. I don't think Matt Corral was the guy. I haven't felt this bad for a player in a while. Yeah, that's what sucks, right? Like, I don't think anybody is actively rooting against Bryce Young. When a guy continues to, like it, what we do here, right? We make fun of really bad performances. We make fun of our rival quarterbacks and whoever, if they're bad, when they're young or old, doesn't matter. But when the guy keeps playing poorly and continues to play poorly, after a while, like, you don't want to make fun of it anymore. You just want him to play well. You want him to give you like a reason to root for him. And the Panthers offense going into last season, so many games where they couldn't even score like 10 points. They were shut out twice last year. There's just so many bad Panthers stats from that offense. It's just you can't really defend it. There's nothing to defend. Yes, CJ Stroud did dodge a bullet, but I firmly believe CJ Stroud is a lot better than Bryce Young. We're seeing CJ Stroud be a lot better than all of the current rookie quarterbacks this season. I think the Panthers would be in a much different situation had they drafted CJ Stroud. I don't think he would necessarily look as good as he currently does, but he might have had success with Frank Reich, who has coached good offenses with competent quarterbacks, right? I think Stroud would look good right now with Dave Canales. So I don't know. You don't really know. But I think CJ is very happy he's with Houston, who's built a very good team, also very good head coach. I said also, I don't know if the Panthers have a good head coach. The Red Rocket rides again. Yes, the Red Ryder BB gun is going to lead the way for the Carolina Panthers. I'm not an Andy Dalton fan. I won't be rooting against Andy, but it will be interesting to see how much better Andy Dalton looks than Bryce Young, right? I think that's going to be a big sign for maybe how bad Bryce Young is. Like, if Andy Dalton comes in and the Panthers start winning games, the offense functions much more efficiently, then you're like, oh God, is he ever going to get a chance again? I don't know. Yeah, I think it's fair to say David Tepper is firmly the worst owner in the league right now. Jonathan Gannon and Kyler Murray might be saving Bidwell in Arizona. But yeah, you got Haslam in the mix for sure with the Browns. Think they'd be willing to take Dak off our hands? I'll take a hungry QB over an overpaid QB. Yeah, I'll take Dak off your hands. You want Bo Nix for Dak Prescott? You want to make that trade right now, Eduardo? Because I'll do it. I'll trade. I'm going to take like 100 and buy all the Panthers tickets, sell out the stadium, just not show up. That would be funny. That's the only way, like, you can make a dent in the owner's pocketbook, right? Just everybody decides not to show up. You can't buy the tickets, though, because the tickets are already sold. You just have to sell no tickets. No tickets is where you got to go. Just leave this up. Can we already call Bryce a draft bust? It's getting there. You want to give guys, I think you want to give quarterbacks 2 full seasons. You want to give them 3 before you really call them a bust. Sam Darnold was a bust, but he's having a little bit of a career revival right now with the Vikings. Alex Smith, I did a whole video about Alex Smith. He was a bust. He was taken first overall by the 49ers. Things did not go well for many years with the Niners, but the league was a little different back then. They stuck with him. They gave him chances, and then he got good. They traded him away because they had Kaepernick. So, like, to call Bryce Young a bust immediately, yes. Yes, the immediate returns have not been there. But the league's weird. Give him enough time, another opportunity on the right team. Maybe not. Maybe he can save his career. Speaking of saving careers, Underdog has saved my career. Promo code That's Good. There's a link in the description if you want to play fantasy, if you want to play their higher or lower games. Do so at Underdog. Just use my code That's Good when you sign up. I think we broke 1,500 signups. I'm trying to get to 10,000 because if we get to 10,000 signups, Underdog owes me $1 million. I think I deserve $1 million more than Bryce Young based on production. I'm not the best YouTube quarterback out there, but I deliver every week. We got videos every week. Most of them are pretty good. I'm like an elite game manager of YouTube creators. Elite game manager. Trevor for Bryce. Oh, just flip-flop Trevor Lawrence and Bryce Young. I don't think the Jags are going to do that. Prime Michael Vick would die behind that O-line. I don't know. I think Prime Michael Vick would make some plays. You remember Prime Vick? NFL Twitter header, so beautiful. Oh, what's the NFL's Twitter header right now? NFL. Let's take a look. NFL. Oh, look at that. They got the Cardinals up there. Nice, NFL. Consider this my contribution to the struggling Broncos fan fun. Well, thank you, Travis. I appreciate that. Is Dalton really the better choice, though? Right now, I think Bryce needs a reset. And Andy Dalton's had so much NFL experience. Is he the worst playoff quarterback ever, Andy Dalton? Yes, I did a video about that as well. But regular season, you're going to be okay with Andy. He's got the experience. He's not going to get rattled. And I think, in addition to not playing well, there's that mental part of the game. And once you get in your own head about shit, and I think Bryce Young is very much in his own head because we saw him play well at Alabama with a tough coach and Nick Saban. Yes, he had all the weapons there, the advantages there of being better than the teams you play. But Bryce Young played well in college, but he's not playing well as a pro. And I think you just need to give him time to reset. I'm not saying Andy Dalton's going to reel off a bunch of wins for the Panthers, but I think they'll be competitive. You're right. Since Super Bowl 50, nothing's really went right for the Broncos or Panthers for different reasons. But when you can't replace a quarterback, the Panthers still had Cam Newton, but he got worse. They didn't really have a replacement plan for him. And then they lost so many players, so many key players. Luke Kuechly leaves. And then over the last 4 years, like we talked about earlier with David Tepper, getting rid of all their good players. Broncos have lost all their good players. My team's stripped down. The Panthers are stripped down. We're both stripped down, and we're struggling. The disaster draft. I don't support murdering players, Biff. I like healthy, happy people, okay? Healthy, happy people and players. Where was I at? Bring back this. There we go. The breaking news. How about how Baker's been playing great? Yes, Baker Mayfield he's been playing very well without Dave. Maybe he didn't need Dave. 4 picks and 3 players while paying Young to not be on the team. Talking about the Broncos with Russ. We're past Russ. I don't know if Trevor's a bust. He's had some moments. He's got a playoff win. But I laughed hardest at the videos of you reacting to your poor Broncos messing up. Yeah, thank you for enjoying watching me suffer. Willamette Trading Company. Reading the title gave me... Whoa. What's my title? Breaking. Panthers QB. Bench Bryce Young. There's nothing wrong with the title. Don't be weird. Would it have been smarter for Bo Picks to learn under Russ or throw him in the flame? Now seeing the Panthers and Patriots, I love you, Dad. I thought Bo Nix was ready to go out there and start because of all of his college experience. I actually thought about this like late last night with Bryce Young specifically. He looks rattled. I was just talking about him being in his head. He doesn't look confident out on the football field. He doesn't look confident as a quarterback, as a leader. Bo Nix has not played well, but he's never looked flustered. I hope he can get better, but I don't think like some of the mistakes really get to him, and you want that from a young quarterback. The question is like, will he get better from those mistakes? Will he progress? And I don't know yet. I think Bo's been through so much more through his college career. He floundered at Auburn. He had to reset and go to Oregon. So he's already done some of those things, and I think that could benefit him. He might suck. I don't know. There's a lot's not good. This is not about Bo Nix. Yeah, I think sitting behind Dalton, just watching the game from the sideline, going through the film studies during the week without the pressure of having to start, like maybe you can just absorb some more things there and still get reps at practice. I think this will ultimately be good for him. Again, I'm not saying it's going to save him, but it might help. Yes, Andy Dalton is taller. The height does, dude, I think the height is a thing. You know, Kyler's super athletic. Russell Wilson early in his career, super athletic. Drew Brees, really efficient, but Brees was 6 foot. Comment on this morning's GPS. My mom calls Sean Payton sphincter mouth. Yeah, he does have those pucker lips. Perna, you are the best YouTube QB with the most Riz. Whoa, I said I'm an elite game manager. Now you're giving me Riz? Sick. Just last year, I was looking up what Riz was. Now I got it. Evil doesn't lie, just changes form. Case in point, David Tepper taking over Dan Snyder's role as the worst owner in the NFL. Yeah, it just switches teams. Look, I'm just saying he has Bo Bixness playing in a live game. Yeah, what? He has no Bixness. No Bixness. I get it. He has no Bixness playing in a live game yet. Yeah, I mean, you could argue every rookie should sit. You could argue just getting out there and playing is better. So many rookie quarterbacks have sucked their rookie years. John Elway was not good as a rookie. He went on to be fine. You kind of discover that through your rookie year. Josh Allen, bad rookie year. What we haven't seen with Bo Nix yet are those flashes, those moments, those drives where you're like, that guy's got it. Josh Allen showed you that. Bo Nix has not done that. We really haven't seen Bryce Young do it, except when he played the Packers. The past mistakes are what they are. Bryce is bad, but the offensive prospects like Leggett and company need a chance to play in a functional offense. Yeah. You know, you had Deontay Johnson. I think Adam Thielen's a solid piece. Didn't the running back the Panthers draft? Isn't he injured right now? There's so many question marks. Hey, Perna, I literally just said to my Panther friend, it can't get any worse on Sunday. Haven't heard from her since this tweet. Yeah, I don't know if this is worse. I think this is better. I think this is actually better for the Panthers for this season. I don't think you'll go 0-17. I think Andy Dalton will get you guys a couple wins, and you will avoid that embarrassment. Plunkett, number 1 overall, 71 draft for the Patriots, stunk, and then wins 2 Super Bowls, more than Rodgers, and Super Bowl MVP for the Raiders. Yeah, give him some time. I don't know. I don't think I'll say Bryce Young will never win a Super Bowl as a starter. I'm confident in that. Yes. But even Carr, like, he went to a better team. Then they had to make an OC change, and now things are clicking. Things were very average there last year for Carr. But Carr has a sample size. Carr had a history of succeeding. Who dat? Not Dak. Go Saints. How many more seasons before you come to the dark side, Perna? Raider Nation, love your channel. I will never join Raider Nation. That said, it did make me happy to see Gardner Minshew playing well, getting the win. Max Crosby giving him a motivational speech. I won't root for the Raiders, but I'll always root for my soulmate, my football soulmate, Gardner Minshew. All right, guys. I do have a wife and kid. Gotta have some Riz to get that. This is how I take care of them. Don't forget it. Code That's Good, Underdog. Thank you guys for watching this emergency stream. I just wanted to do a quick one. Would you rather have Deshaun Watson or Daniel Jones as a Broncos quarterback? Dan Jones, because he is a good person. Dan Jones, because he's a good person. And actually, maybe he's a little bit better than Deshaun Watson as a football player. Suck it, Watson. No, don't. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for joining. Tomorrow, winners and losers will be up on this channel, hopefully around noonish. I appreciate you. Thursday night, we should have another special guest for our Thursday night post-game show. Goodbye. And I'm sorry, Panthers fans. Maybe you've reached rock bottom, though. Maybe you've reached rock bottom, Carolina. It's okay, Doug. Thank you, Doug. Goodbye.